So the Popper Mayfly, um, basically I've got that foam post here, but I've also got a lot of CDC in the hackle, and you can really twitch this and shift it across the water, especially if it's slow moving water, and that's what makes it very, very effective. So the first thing we do is I'll get a hook and a vise. This is a big hook. It's a Hanart 230 BL. It's a size 8. Big hook, big fish. Just place that in the vise. Get it nice and straight. And my tying thread is a light Cahill. And all I'm going to do is whip that onto the hook shank. Creating a bed of tying thread, basically. Doesn't have to be neat at this stage. We've got to tidy all this up. And just come in, snip that thread. And now I'm looking for nice long, wrong bit of foam. It's like a 5mm foam. And I just get a lighter, heat the ends, and just roll it. So I've got like a curved edge. I cut that at 45 degrees and I put it out with the angle sloping down to the hook shank. So I want about a centimetre sticking out from the top of the hook eye. And just bed that down with close wraps. Make sure that that's not got a spin. Sometimes do a reverse wrap rather than clockwise, come around that and go anti-clockwise. Just locks everything nicely in place. And now I've got some long dyed black pheasant tail. This is a trigger on the fly. Basically the long tails. We've got to tie that in. Nice and long. I tend to exaggerate everything on mayflies. But you can see that that's probably the hook length. Double the hook length there. And again, just bed that in, nice and tight. Now I'll get some more 3 or 4 fibres, catch them in by the tips, and I'm going to rib these up at the bottom, a bit like the natural. Just that, again, it's another trigger. Get my thread control sorted here. There you go. Just bed that down right onto the tails. I've then got this super fine dubbing. It's just a little off white. Not quite cream, not quite white. And I'm going to dub that onto the thread quite generously. Spin a nice tight dubbing rope. Just come up. Covering the thread wraps there. And building up halfway along the body where the foam is. And then I'm going to take my pheasant tail and I'm going to wind it up like a rib over. So you see you've got that segmented effect on the rear of the fly. Very much like the natural. So we've got 2 wraps there. There's a third. I'll bring it up and lock it now. Just lock that off. A little bit more dubbing. And just wind that on. I've got a little bit of space there. And I need that space from my hackle. Again, just a little bit more. Build it up a little bit. You can always bring your thread through the wraps. Keep it nice and secure. Tail splayed there. And now we get a really high quality, very long CDC feather. And I'm going to use this as my hackle. Just catch it in by the tips. I tend to tie it in at the top of the hook shank. So just catch the tips in and get a pair of hackle pliers I'm going to get 2 or 3 wraps round the hook shank. Each wrap I'm going to stroke the fibres back, cloaking the fly. Didn't have to be super neat. This is a huge mayfly pattern. You've not got to look at it and say, oh, that doesn't look right. They're feeding on it. They're feeding heavy on it. And I tend to fish flies that I've got either a bit bigger or a bit of an exaggeration on it, just like this thing. But this works, like I say, extremely well and sort of glides for the dying or dead or dying spinner. Well, it has to be dying, doesn't it, really? But you'll see it sort of skittering, fluttering, moving its wings as it dies. This is when this fly really comes into its own. So I just take a few fibres off the end of that feather. There's plenty of CDC on that. I'm just going to dub it onto the tying thread. Tiny a little bit more. Take another CDC feather. Dub that on. And I'm just going to dub this around the top of the hackle. Make sure that the hackle's not cloaking the body, but certainly facing towards the rear of the hook shank. And I just tidy up at the front here. A few looking turns. Pull some of that CDC out into the actual hackle itself. Great for trapping bubbles. Great for looking like a die on the inside. It's just perfect, really. It's just a really good fly. And because it's so big, you get away with that foam in the head. Really, really good pattern. Something that I've not seen before, certainly. That's what I've found. Just come in behind the eye and whip finish a couple of times. And that's him. Your Popper Mayfly. An awesome, awesome fly. When a mayfly are in the water, either the dun or the spent spinner, but it's built to represent the sort of cripples, if that makes sense. Easy fly. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. More fly tying and fishing videos. I really hope you enjoyed that. Thanks, folks. Bye-bye.